To be honest, boxing's never seen nothing like this in the history of boxing. Since it began 250 years ago, it's never seen anything like this. I believe this is going to be great for boxing. I believe we're going to win.
He's going to have, after the fight is over, then so be it. I'm already in a no-win situation anyway. To me, it's a win-win. But I'm in a no-win because if I knock him out fast in the first round, they're going to be like, oh man, this wasn't worth it. If I let it go a few rounds and drag it out, they're going to be like, oh man.
I've always been in the gym training. And I'm boxing professional fighters. Activity is great. I had 15 fights in 1 year when I was younger. And I think activity is great, but I'm prepared. I'm just ready to go.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. remains confident in their heated face-to-face. Fully himself, ready to prove he still has that skill and fire.
Even bring that shit up no more.
No, they should bring it up.
Okay.
They should see the difference from there to now.
Gotcha.
Me at my worst, to me at the biggest event in the history of events right now. There's never been any bigger than this. So what they have to say about that?
What does that say about you if you lose?
Well, I'm not going to lose. So I can't even fathom losing. I can't even imagine it. I think he thinks this is going to be a very easy night. It's not going to be an easy night.
Mike Tyson says he is fully prepared for the challenge, training harder than ever, and looking sharp, confident that he can rise to the occasion.
On cruise control, go out there, have some fun, and do what I do best. And that's beat Floyd Mayweather.
Rafael Corderero, Mike Tyson's trainer, says Mike Tyson is in better shape and sharper now than he was during his fight against Roy Jones.
The fighter's waiting for his money. By the time he gets his money, everybody else took their percentage out already. So you don't know who's who. You get what they give you.
You look good. How you feeling physically?
Incredible.
You've been training?
Listen, I was wearing extra large. It looks like I'm wearing large.
Mike Tyson is fully sharp in training camp, sparring at full power, pushing limits and preparing intensely for the upcoming challenge.
Perfect time, perfect place now. Where's Mike? Put everything together. So mentally, physically, we're excited. Man. Excited. If the fight was next Saturday, you will be ready for it. So we talk about Roy was 4 years ago. Today, Mike is much better than he was when he fought.
Mike Jeff Mayweather says Floyd Mayweather Jr. has always been comfortable playing the villain role. And a fight with Mike Tyson could challenge his legacy while still showcasing his confidence and skill.
We'll put it aside. Okay, I'll be right.
Round one. Boom. Phew. Cut the ring. Exactly. Cut the ring. Exactly.
Meanwhile, Tony Jeff recently said Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s return is driven by ego as he cannot accept being overshadowed, especially after Tyson versus Jake Paul.
Why? It's easy, because Floyd always was the bad guy. Once again, he's gonna be the bad guy. And I think that if there's any way to try to remove his O, it may happen.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. trains intensely in camp, moving with remarkable sharpness and agility, looking surprisingly youthful while demonstrating the speed and precision that defined his prime.
Got to make as much money as we can while we can, and then get out of the sport. But with these two, they're multi-millionaires. And I want to get into the tail of the tape and talk about exactly the records and all of that stuff with it. But first, I just want to say, I believe that these are doing this for different things. Mike Tyson is doing it purely for the money. Purely for the money. Floyd is doing it for the money as well, but also I believe Floyd's doing it for that limelight. You've seen the numbers that Mike Tyson, Jake Paul got, and I think this is the most viewed fight of all time, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. I might be wrong in saying that, but I'm sure it was. was hosted on Netflix. And Floyd's been one in the past with his ego that he wants to just, be in that limelight all the time. And when you're not in the limelight all the time, you want to have.
The analyst Henry strongly questions the direction boxing is taking as legends return for exhibition bouts. He points out that Manny Pacquiao is set to face Rosalind Pivikov while Floyd may...
Hook right here. Right hand hook. Again. Hook right hand. Slide and drop. Punch it, wait till here we go. Drop, drop. Walk it. Pitch it. Pitch it. Six. Punch it. Pitch it. Watch it. I step back like I have my distance. That's why I step. See, I have my distance. Fighters don't know their distance. You gotta know your distance.
Floyd pounds the heavy bags with power and precision, showcasing his speed, technique, and relentless focus. Adola raises serious questions about the reported clash between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mike Tyson in Congo. He wonders whether the event is truly happening or quietly fading away. The unusually early announcement puzzles him with the fight scheduled for September and revealed in February. The gap feels excessive compared to the standard 3 or 4 month promotion cycle. That long runway suggests either an ambitious global build-up or uncertainty behind the scenes. He also examines Netflix and its strategy of staging spectacle-driven matchups.
That's taking on Mike Tyson of all people. That's the most money-motivated thing I've ever heard. It's utterly bizarre. And I don't want to see Mike Tyson anywhere near the ring again, especially after that Jake Paul fiasco. This whole thing's incredibly weird. I don't like it. I'm a proper boxing fan, and these fights to me, this OAP stuff they've got going on when they bring back these old fighters for one more go at each other, it's just not something that I particularly enjoy. Now look, it's going to be on Netflix. It's probably going to be a massive event. I'm probably going to end up covering it because they are two former champions of note and it is going to go on their professional records. But if you thought the first fight wasn't particularly entertaining, I can't imagine this one's going to be much better. The one thing I will say is that I believe Pacquiao's in better condition than I realized after the effort he put in against Mario.
From crossover ideas to the massive numbers generated by Jake Paul events, the platform is focused on mass appeal. Aid admits the formula likely works, even if it feels random. Despite skepticism, he speaks as a genuine admirer of Floyd Mayweather Jr. His passion for boxing evolved from Mike Tyson's dominance to the British icons and eventually back to America thanks to Floyd's brilliance. He views Mayweather as someone rare who mastered both marketing and ring intelligence, much like Conor McGregor did in his own sphere.
Not had a proper fight in such a long time, which you could argue means he won't be as sharp in the ring. But then on the other hand, Pacquiao's had way more fights than Mayweather has, so you could argue he's got less left in the tank. It's difficult to figure out what it means for either guy, and we don't really know which way it's going to go. But I guess, if I'm being really honest, as much as I don't love it, there's always going to be a little bit of intrigue there. Kind of don't like myself for it, but I'm just being honest with you guys. And I think if we want to have a real conversation about what this fight represents is a continued frustration around the truth about the first fight, which was that it came too late and it turned into more and more of a cash grab. This fight embodies that to a whole new level. Even for the broadcaster Netflix, I don't believe they're truly invested in the sport of boxing. They'll take one-off big events that get them more subscribers, that increase their revenue, that increase their subscription base, but they don't really care about the sport. If they did, they'd be putting on a lot more events than just these mega fights that involve, influencers and fighters that are well past that.
At the same time, Henry admits the scale of the event will be enormous, particularly with a platform like Netflix involved. Despite criticism, there is curiosity. He analyzes decline as the real storyline, questioning who has lost more sharpness. Mayweather has been inactive for years. Yet, Pacquiao has endured more battles overall. That uncertainty creates intrigue even for purists who dislike the concept cause.
Also talk about Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson in the Congo. Is that now scrapped? Why are they announcing this several months before the event? I mean, is it a massive build-up? I mean, when you think about it, most fights are announced 3 months, 4 before an event. This one, September. We are in February, people. Like, what is going on? I mean, what are Netflix doing? Netflix are kind of, obviously, they're picking up and putting on really random stuff. Like Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. If you are an MMA fan, that fight was supposed to happen way more than a decade ago. Way more than a decade ago. They're doing it now. Will it get big numbers? I guess it kind of will. They've obviously done the Jake Paul stuff. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. Jake Paul versus AJ. They done massive numbers. Crawford Canelo, a serious fight. And then they're doing...
Wade Plemons shares his honest view on Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s return to the ring, highlighting the tension between legacy and financial motivation. He explains that seeing a boxer of Floyd's stature fight again at this stage can feel underwhelming to fans, as it suggests the decision is driven more by profit than passion for the sport. For longtime followers, there is a sense of discomfort knowing that a legendary career might be overshadowed by the pursuit of money rather than athletic achievement.
Massive Floyd fan. Like, my journey into boxing, obviously when I was young, it was very much Mike Tyson, but then it went and became a UK thing. The ITV days of, I don't know, Ben Eubank, etc., Michael Watson, and then eventually Joe Calzaghe, Prince Nassim, etc., etc. My reason for going back and watching American boxing is solely down to Floyd. Like, I was obsessed with everything Floyd Mayweather did. I thought he was a genius when it comes to marketing and a genius in the ring. Like, it's very rare that the two go together, which is why I think everyone kind of fell in love with Conor McGregor, right? Because Conor McGregor was a genius outside the ring in terms of how to sell a fight. And in the octagon, he actually proved that he can fight as well. Floyd, obviously on a completely different level, but you know what I mean? Very similar. Someone that talks the talk and walks the walk. And Floyd most certainly did.
Despite media speculation about Floyd's finances, Plemons firmly rejects any claims of monetary trouble, emphasizing that the fighter is not struggling to meet obligations. He stresses that the headlines claiming massive debt are misleading and exaggerate the situation. Yet, he openly admits that the event is undeniably lucrative and that the financial incentive is a key factor in making it happen. While some may view this as disappointing or purely commercial, Plemons frames it as a calculated choice that balances Floyd's continued competitive spirit with the realities of opportunity. In his eyes, it is both a spectacle for audiences and a demonstration of Mayweather's careful management of his career and brand.
Mayweather had financial troubles because of the money he owed to the IRS, because of the terrible business and real estate investments that he's made, and apparently some of these have gone under, and he is owed back rent, or he is owing back rent, and he is delinquent on a lot of payments for a lot of different things right now. These things seem to have added up for Floyd, and now it's pretty apparent that not only is he doing these, bank robbery style exhibitions, but it looks like he absolutely needs to do it, which is very, very sad. Listen, I'm not the biggest fan of Floyd Mayweather as an individual outside of the ring, but I never want to see athletes have their money mismanaged or mismanage their own money so badly that they go broke in retirement, and it looks like that's kind of what's happening. And here's a snippet from Business Insider because it made me want to pay for the entire article.
Ariel Helwani shared a strong perspective on the upcoming bout between two boxing legends, raising concerns that have sparked discussion among fans. He believes the fight is largely unnecessary, questioning the value of bringing fighters back at an advanced stage in their careers. For Helwani, the match seems more like a spectacle than a meaningful sporting contest, as both competitors are well past their prime and no longer at the peak of their physical abilities. He worries that the risks involved may outweigh any entertainment or financial benefits, emphasizing that the health and well-being of the fighters should be the top priority. Helwani's comments reflect a broader debate in boxing about the resurgence of former champions, especially when such events appear motivated more by publicity or profit than by athletic competition. While fans may feel excitement at the prospect of seeing familiar names in the ring, Helwani urges caution, pointing out that age inevitably affects speed, reflexes, and endurance. In his view, the fight may not be necessary and could potentially undermine the legacy of both fighters rather than celebrate it.
Strongly denies any kind of financial distress, but the headlines aren't slowing it down. $54 million alleged dollars in debt. So it makes sense why they would want to do this, and it's strictly for money, let's be honest. This is a clear money grab, but this is going to be a terrible fight. This is not going to be a fight that anyone outside of watching Mike Tyson walk to the ring and the idea that maybe he'll knock out the little guy in Floyd that Tyson for a long time didn't like. You know, for a long time called Floyd a small little angry man or a small little scared man because he couldn't walk his kids to school by himself, mainly because Floyd had, he kind of disrespected Muhammad Ali, who was Mike Tyson's favorite fighter and one that he would never put himself above. But Mike's 60 years old. And if there was a time for Mike to get him and knock him out or whatever, it never would have happened because they were in completely different weight classes and XYZ. If you wanted to settle it outside of boxing, that's one thing, but now they're stepping into this exhibition. There's not going to be any weight classes.
Going up against Floyd Mayweather, this guy was unbeaten as a fighter. He still physically has ring craft. He still physically can move about the ring and do what he has to do. I think for Mike Tyson, he's going to be very frustrated. He will want to lay a shot on him to get rid of him, but unfortunately, you slow down. Father Time gets the better of us all, and even though I think when it comes to a fan's favourite, I'm quite sure most of the fans would love to see Mike Tyson put Floyd in his place, and that's probably what will be the attraction as well. But you've got to remember, Mike Tyson's 59 years old. You've got to remember, Floyd Mayweather is still hitting the bag in the gym. He's still moving around, even though he's 48 years old. But you've got to remember, these guys are individuals. Their fathers, their brothers, or whatever. And they still want to earn a massive chunk of money. Where's Mike Tyson? Whatever they're getting paid. Where's Mike Tyson at 59 going to earn this kind of money? Where's Floyd Mayweather at this time of life going to make this kind of money? It doesn't matter what we say about legacy. These guys have still got to live. These guys are still thinking, you know what, I'll take the heat, I'll take the criticism, but you know what, my bank account's all right, my family's all right. And I know it's crude, and I know it takes the shine off it, but that's real talk. So these guys are now in a position where where people want to pay them a lot of money to fight each other. It's against somebody they don't like. So again, ego's going to get the better of common sense with Mike as far